Welcome to Casey Christine Presents. This is a lighthearted, multidimensional sanctuary space for multidimensional beings. I'm your host, Casey Christine. What's up, epic humans, earthlings, starseeds, lightworkers? I'm excited about this series that I'm going to talk about today. So, over the next 11 podcasts that I put out, I'm going to be going over this $800 book that is a tiny book that I've came across and I had to have. So there's a couple on the internet that you can buy right now. One's $450, the other ones are $850 or $890 almost $900 for this tiny 12-chapter book. And the author is Reverend Judith Baldwin. And how I came across this book was I love books. I love them. I do not buy clothes. I buy books. But I was reading a book called Healing Lost Souls. And she wrote a chapter in that book around spiritual protection. And I was so moved by her words that I said, who is this? Who wrote this chapter? Let me get on and see who this person is, and do they have any other work? The way that she could communicate in such simplicity and touched my heart and offered a profound message that honestly revolutionized my life, from just how I really was living in integrity with myself. And lo and behold, she did have a book, but it was just $800. Like, what? I've never seen an $800 book. And they're not in print. It's not on Audible. So I feel like part of my mission, something I always say when I do meditations is I say, from my heart to yours. And when I was reading the back of this book, she also did something called a guide in the power of love. But she also wrote something that I can't find, and it's called from my heart to yours. And I can't find that. And I want to. But that's something that I always say. And I just felt very called, as she's a reverend and I'm a reverend, to share her message. I'm like, the powers that be don't want us to have this message because it's so profound. It's so simple, but yet profound. And so I'm going to take the time to read through these incredible words over these next 11 podcasts that I put out. So I'm so excited about that. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. I really am most passionate right now about activating light body technology and biophotons and the superboard of the computer and all these things and all this knowledge. But my heart is telling me that this message can transform lives and can be much easier received than maybe some of the other concepts that I'm into right now. And so honoring what I received in meditation and in my heart, and when I connect to the collective consciousness on what can be of the greatest service, this came through as a message that just needed to be heard by many. And I think, and you guys let me know if you relate to this, but when we step on a spiritual path, it's almost like it can be something that we need to achieve, or it's like people are looking to seek enlightenment. She also made a statement around how it's like, relax, relax. We don't have to find enlightenment. I love what she says in the preface. She says, I no longer experience the need to keep searching. The longing for something has been satisfied. Yes, I am still an explorer, but the desperation of the search has been quieted, and I am fulfilled. Like, to me, that means Christ consciousness. Like when you really are not seeking a fulfillment, you just feel totally peaceful, totally whole. You're whole. that to me is like, okay, you're in that resonance of Christ consciousness, because it's like we know there's nowhere to get to. We're whole, we're complete, right? Even all the chaos in the matrix and in form is for our greatest expansion that we've all created. So it takes us back to peace. Many of you can identify with my experiences. Others may still be looking for something. Perhaps you're uncertain. No matter, everyone is welcome to explore this little volume of questions and discoveries. Please don't exclude yourself. And she, a lot of what her interpretation as well too, and things that she's taking from that she applied, is A Course in Miracles. And so I don't know about you guys, but A Course in Miracles is long. It is long and it is deep. And this book is just so simple. That's its mastery. So in the introduction, she starts with saying, "This book is meant to bring you relief. That is one of the gifts the inner knower gives. This book is meant to bring you hope. That is one of the characteristics of the inner knower. This book is meant to bring you certainty. That is one of the freedoms of the inner knower. Finally, this book is meant to challenge your complacency. That is one of the services the inner knower provides." And I can tell you that this book definitely does do those things. And I'm excited to read it and share it with everyone. She also talks about in the introduction that you will be required to read with your inner heart as well as the thinker. And in reality, there is no conception of individual, autonomous, separate anything. There is only one. And it really does. I feel like right now, before the political machine gets really hot and heavy, it's so important to come into oneness within ourselves. The greatest revolution is living a joyful, peaceful, and prosperous life, and being able to be a unified people and open hearts with one another, regardless of what identity somebody like aligns with, of like who they are or the box that they're in, kind of like I talked on the last episode. And it's like the time is now for us to call upon the inner knower. And she makes it just, you'll get to know your inner knower throughout this book. You can end your striving for enlightenment. It has become tedious and distracts you from what has been all along. You can reclaim your original nature by laying down the weight of overburdened trying and simply recognizing what is already in place. It has not served you to be caught up in fraudulent beliefs of what you are not. You need not accept the outside authority which insist on imposing stringent and tiresome rules for spiritual struggling. And that's across the board. This idea of spiritual struggling, truly, and it's time that we lay that to rest. That's my thought. I'm going to keep reading. What you would attain is already yours. So it has always been. So it shall always be. In the name of what you are, lay down the quest. The grail has already been won. You hold it in your inner heart, which is at rest in God and Goddess. Go within. What is sought is there, awaiting notice. There is nothing to do, nothing to conquer, nothing to overcome. The banquet has already been laid out. Come to union, communion, and join the celebration. Partake, remember. Amen. So if you are ready to partake with me in this short but profound message on how to connect with the inner knower, check back in. I will be dropping a podcast every single Monday here for this series. So that's exciting. And you'll get to check it out. And then I'll probably, what I'm feeling is I'm going to be more than likely I have to check in with my higher self to make sure that this is a yes for sure. See, I know that that's my inner knower. I don't have to overcommit if I'm not sure. See, thank you, inner knower. A meditation to match the chapter, to create the space for people that want to travel deeper into an experience with themselves. There's no right way to meditate. And this is what this book, as much as I am into learning more around light body technology and like physics and whatnot, it's still really, I'm so fascinated by the technology because it takes me to my heart. You know, this even like bilocating, or like if you're talking about like traveling and like astral projection and what have you, the goodness is living a heart-centered life and feeling the connection of our inner knower, right? Call it your higher self, call it the aspect of God, like whatever that is. And so she's going to make it so much more simple than I make it. And I want to give her full credit for everything that I read out of this book. And it's my great prayer that my tongue becomes blessed by reading this out loud to those that have ears to hear and are genuinely seeking a deeper connection with the divine, that my tongue also be blessed and integrated with these teachings and the simplicity of the words, so that I may carry this message further in all of the offerings and creations that I do, and can help me even share light body technology far more simple, as that is a characteristic of the inner knower that she'll get into. Is if it is simple, it's of the inner knower. If it's complicated, it's the not knower. So how simple, it's for me in thinking, okay, what am I going to share this week? Well, here we go. The next 11 handled. So looking forward to being here with you guys. And yeah, if you are looking at doing the meditations, those will be on the Sovereign Temples channel. So looking forward to meditating with you guys, having a really good time over at Sovereign Temples meditation channel. Also dropping a lot of just high frequency tones. I've also really come to understand the power of not having words and like guided meditation as well. There's a place for everything. There's a place for guided meditation. There's a place for no words, so that we can just allow our higher self to be in full operating control and do what it wants to do. But I do know that the brain, finicky little thing, definitely does well with frequencies of certain ranges to help us be in certain states to be more receptive. So also have a lot of those things going on over on the YouTube channel. I put some of the things on Spotify for Sovereign Temples, and then some things that are on the YouTube channel are not on Spotify, and then it was vice versa too. So still figuring out how that all that's going to go. I know my higher self, my inner knower, is going to guide me to the most simplest way. That is the great prayer that I am walking in right now. And I feel so excited to go through this book with all of you guys. I also just bought another one. I know, I'm a sucker. Who's spending this amount of money on 12 chapter books? I wanted to give one away. And I love giving books away. It's like my thing. My favorite books, I buy hundreds at a time. If this book was in print, I would be buying hundreds and putting it everywhere. But I thought, okay, let me get one. There's only two that I can even still find online. There was three. There's one for that, like $8.90, $8.50, and $4.50. So lo and behold, I'm going to give it away to somebody that I feel like is really engaged, and I'll know that if you are sharing these and tagging me, or if you are commenting and doing some of the meditations, you're just really ready to surrender to your inner knower. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be learned to be with your inner knower. That's what's The irony. However, if you are enjoying the content so much and you would love to have this book, if you treasure books like I do that are really profound and beautiful, to me, this is a sacred book for sure. And you're sharing and tagging me, and I'll list all of that in the verbiage here when we share this. And throughout the series. So whoever is most engaged throughout the series of doing this, I'll pick a winner for the giveaway. So I'm looking forward to that. And part of that is also a way to help this message reach more people. Because again, it is so simple and it is so profound, and it is a message of peace. It is a message of sovereignty. It is a message of unity and love, and you will just feel, the further we go in this, you will feel how that this resonance of these words came from someone who is tapped in to their sovereign divinity and is able to communicate it in a way that masses can receive it, to begin to help shift collective consciousness for people laying down the weapons within, being willing to no longer be at war within themselves, but to come into peace within themselves. And I believe with all of my heart, that is how we change the world. It is not through the government. It is not through the school system. It is through the individual that is courageous enough to travel within their heart. I'm so fired up about this. I can't wait to see you guys for chapter 1, where I will be reading word for word so we don't miss a thing from Judith. And I'm just honored to be on this voyage with you guys. So all my love and light. Namaste. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, and follow our social media platforms. And you can find all of our contact information on CaseyChristinePresents.com. I'll see you next time. All my love and light. Namaste.